The kingdom did not need a hero. It needed a mistake desperate enough to believe it was one. Because the man who fell into that world was not a savior. He was not a warrior, and he was not the person they were waiting for. His name was Sung Lee Suk, and in his original world, he was nothing more than an ordinary office worker. A man who tried every day to prove himself. But in the end, all he received was blame and mockery. His manager scolded him for his mistakes. His coworker laughed at him like he was useless. Even the new position he received changed nothing. In front of others, he smiled, but deep inside, he knew the truth. His life had never truly begun. And what made it even more bitter was that another man had the exact same name. Another Sung Lee Suk. A strong man, a successful man. A man people knew as a taekwondo champion. But this Sung Lee Suk lived like the failed version of that name. Even when he tried to remember his old training days, he failed at the simplest move and fell to the ground. But after that, he opened his eyes in a world he did not recognize, and around him, people were shouting with joy. The hero has arrived, we are saved. In front of him stood Diabel, the mage who had led the summoning ritual, and the people around her were looking at him like he was their last hope. Diabel explained that this world was collapsing because of a war against demons. Humanity had lost too much, and they had only one solution left, to summon the hero who would save them. But Sung quickly understood the truth. The hero they wanted to summon was not him. They had summoned the wrong person, only because he had the same name as the real hero. He could have confessed. He could have told them he was just an ordinary office worker with no power at all. But if he did that, he would return to the life he hated. Back to failure, back to humiliation. Back to a place where no one saw him, so he chose to stay silent. He raised his head in front of them and said he would save this world. Diabel was overjoyed, and the people thanked him like he was the savior they had been waiting for. But the lie did not last long. When the first real test came, Sung stood before an enemy from the demon army. Everyone was waiting for him to act like a hero. He tried to fight, but his body was not the body of a warrior. He was struck down brutally and fell to the ground covered in blood. In that moment, he felt his end coming, and he asked himself, is my life going to end here too, with the same weakness and the same failure? But something inside him refused to accept it. He remembered the child he used to be, the child who once believed he could become anything. And this time, he did not want to die as a failure. He moved despite his wounds. He charged forward with everything he had left. And then, a power he never expected burst out of him. One strike changed everything. The enemy that was about to kill him was forced back. Even Sung himself could not believe what had just happened. He looked at his own hand, blood covering his face, and asked himself, how did I do that? But the shock did not end there. After the fight, Diabel approached him while he was still confused. Sung apologized because even he did not understand how that power had appeared. But Diabel was not angry. She reached out her hand and told him to stand. To her, this man was no longer just a mistake in the summoning. He was an opportunity. She explained that the creature he defeated was not an ordinary monster. It was a weapon she had raised to be her trump card against the Demon King. Sung thought she would blame him for destroying it, but Diabel told him he had nothing to apologize for, because she had found something better, and she meant him. Then Diabel revealed her magic. The only magic she could use was the ability to imitate the person she loved more than anyone else. But behind her calm expression, there was a more dangerous secret. Diabel was hiding a connection to the Demon King, and even though she had handed humanity a hero who could change the war, her goal was not to save the kingdom. She wanted to use Sung in her own way. Then she began testing him. She wondered if his power only appeared when he was close to death. Sung himself understood nothing. From his point of view, he had just destroyed a terrifying monster. So how could he be weak? Diabel asked him to strike her hand with all his strength. Sung hesitated. Then he hit her. But the strike did nothing. To Diabel, it was not the strike of a hero. It felt like something barely touched her palm. And then she said the truth clearly. You have no power. Sung froze. The power that saved him was not something he could control. Maybe it had appeared only once. Maybe it would never appear again. But Diabel did not give up on him. She told him they had only 1 month before the heroes gathered in the capital. and instead of exposing his weakness, she decided to turn him into an unstoppable warrior. As for Sung, he chose his path. He would not admit that he had no power. He would hide his weakness completely, and he would play the role of the perfect savior in front of everyone. After 1 month, Sung arrived at the capital. The palace was massive, and the people welcomed the heroes like they were the kingdom's final hope. King Stellion appeared before them and welcomed them as great saviors. But Sung quickly realized the truth. He was not the only hero. There were other summoned heroes too. Powerful people, strange people, dangerous people. Each one of them had a presence of their own, and each one acted like they stood above everyone else. The king spoke about protecting the kingdom and about the mission waiting for them against the Demon King. But the heroes were nothing like the image people had imagined. There was no respect between them, no peace, not even a real desire to work together. The mockery began, then the words turned into provocation, and soon the entire room was on the edge of exploding. The king tried to calm them down. He begged them to control themselves, but some of them seemed happy with the chaos, as if watching the heroes kill each other would be a reward. Sung stood among them, unable to say a word. Not long ago, he was only trying to hide his weakness from Diabel, and now he was surrounded by heroes who did not look like saviors at all. In that moment, he understood the truth. His real problem was not only the Demon King, and it was not only the kingdom that expected him to save it. It was these heroes too, because this world did not summon saviors. It summoned monsters wearing the title of heroes. After the heroes gathered in the palace, Sung Lee Suk began to understand that hiding his weakness was no longer his only problem. The real problem was the people who were supposed to fight beside him. They did not act like saviors. Each one of them was thinking about himself and about the reward waiting after the Demon King was killed. The discussion was not about saving the kingdom. It was about the enormous power inside the Demon King, a power said to be capable of changing the body, creating new life, and even bending reality itself. Whoever killed him might gain something powerful enough to grant their deepest wish. And that was when the true desires of the heroes began to show. Instead of thinking about working together, they started wondering who deserved that power. Then came the most dangerous suggestion. They should fight each other right now. And whoever remained standing in the end would kill the Demon King alone. Sung stared at them in shock. They called themselves heroes, but their words sounded more like monsters fighting over prey. The king tried to bring things back under control and explained that magic in this world depended on mana. Anyone with mana could use magic, but those born with rare talent became true mages. As for the Demon King, he possessed a completely different kind of power. That was why he was not only the target of the kingdom, he had become the target of anyone who wanted to fulfill their own desire. While the heroes prepared to leave, the palace was hiding another danger. A messenger from the demon side appeared and revealed an old pact between the kingdom and the Demon King. A pact that forbade the royal family from revealing the secrets of the Demon King or asking for help from outside this world. In exchange, the royal bloodline would be allowed to live, but that pact was broken the moment the kingdom summoned heroes from another world, and the punishment was clear: death. From that moment, the war was no longer just a battle between heroes and the Demon King. There were old secrets behind it, and a price was already being paid before the heroes had even reached the battlefield. After that, the heroes left the capital, but the road was not easier than the palace. While the others moved with ease, Sung was running on foot, gasping for breath, trying not to show his weakness. He kept asking himself, why was he the only one suffering like this? And why did he have to be the one to kill the Demon King when he did not have power like the others? Along the way, each hero began to reveal part of their true nature. Enzo Carter wanted to return to his own world. Gachi was searching for wealth. And Buina spoke in a strange way, as if she was hiding her real desire behind stories and lies. Each one had their own reason, and none of them looked like a pure savior. Then the first monster appeared on the road. To Sung, its appearance was another nightmare, another monster in front of him, another chance to die before he even understood what was happening. But to the other heroes, it was nothing more than a small obstacle. Before Sung could move, a massive force tore through the monster in an instant. The fight ended before it even began, and Sung stood there stunned. These heroes were not just arrogant, they were terrifyingly strong enough to erase a monster that could have killed him, as if it was nothing. And even though the journey had officially begun toward the demon lands, Sung knew that danger was not only waiting at the end. Danger was walking beside him. The heroes who could crush monsters so easily had no mercy and no discipline. Every step on that road proved one thing to him. The death of one of them was no longer a distant possibility. It was only a matter of time. Then they heard a cry for help. People were being attacked, and a child was begging to be saved. Sung tried to move, but before he could do anything, one of the heroes stepped in. It did not look like a heroic rescue. One strike was enough to tear the monsters apart in front of everyone. The people survived, but Sung did not feel relieved because he saw the truth clearly. These heroes did not fight with mercy. They had terrifying power, and they used it without hesitation. Instead of bringing them together, the fight quickly created friction between them. One attacked with brutality, another got angry because his path was blocked, and a third acted like every battle belonged to him alone. Sung tried to stay calm. He had to move with them, hide his weakness, and pretend that he was one of them. But then Enzo approached him and asked him something that made Sung feel like his secret could be exposed at any moment. Sung had no real answer. All he could do was keep acting, because if his mask fell now, it could mean his death. After all that chaos, they finally reached their first destination, the fortress of the first demon commander. The fortress was massive, and the sky above it was red, as if the place itself was warning them of danger. But the heroes did not stop to make a plan. They did not think about scouting. They did not try to understand what was waiting inside. One of them simply decided that they would smash through the front gate and enter by force, and that was exactly what happened. They charged into the fortress violently, as if they were not invading the land of a dangerous enemy, but racing toward a prize. Inside, the chaos grew even worse. Each one wanted to move first and prove they were the strongest. Diabel watched in anger, because what she was seeing was not organized battle. It was a danger that could kill them before they ever reached the Demon King. Sung tried to speak to her, but she was in no mood to let him get close. She knew his situation was bad, and she knew that standing among these human monsters could turn into a disaster at any moment. Then a woman from the demon side appeared before them, Ereshkigal, a commander under the Demon King. She showed no fear. She stood in front of the heroes as if she was facing a group of annoying children, not saviors who had come to kill her king. But then she noticed Diabel, and from the look in her eyes, it was clear that Diabel's presence among them was not normal. Still, Ereshkigal did not waste time talking. She said that every human who had ever seen her before was already dead, as if she was telling them that entering this fortress was a death sentence. But the heroes did not back down. One of the heroines rushed in first, as if she wanted the first strike for herself. Then another hero joined, then another. And in moments, the battle turned into complete chaos. No one was fighting as part of a team. Each one was trying to steal the kill for themselves. Ereshkigal found herself surrounded by attacks from every direction. But the strangest part was that the heroes were getting in the way of each other. One blocked the path of another. Another got angry because his attack was interrupted, and a third shouted that the kill belonged to him. Sung watched in disbelief. This was not cooperation. This was a race between monsters, and the prize was whoever brought the enemy down first. Even Ereshkigal began to look surprised. Instead of uniting against her, they were crowding around her, as if each one wanted the glory for themselves. One of the heroes tried to force a strategy, but no one wanted to listen. One of them said strategy was for cowards. Another rushed in again without thinking, and another attacked from the front, even though a frontal attack was not working. The strikes began to collide, and the fortress turned into a battlefield, a fight between the heroes and the enemy, and between the heroes themselves. Sung realized something terrifying. He was not walking with saviors. He was walking with beings who had real power, but no discipline. Each one of them could kill a monster, but each one could also kill an ally in a moment of anger. And Ereshkigal was not weak. She was fast, sharp, and knew how to use the chaos. Whenever one of them thought they had cornered her, she slipped away. And whenever one of them rushed toward her, they left an opening behind. Then it happened. In the middle of the chaos, Sung Liseok fell. The fake hero was the first to hit the ground, and in that silence, one question remained. How long could he keep pretending?